Welcome to Lesson 6 on Desktop UI Automation in GetUIText. In this lesson we will look more into working with multiple applications in a flow. In the previous lessons we saw how easy it is to move between applications, for instance opening the GetUIText demo application, clicking an email link and continuing the flow in Outlook. The reason it's simple is that GetUIText always operates on the active window. If our flow starts in one window, then opens the next window or application, and then finishes the flow, it's very straightforward and intuitive. But what if we want to start in application A, then move to application B, and then go back to application A again, maybe to read or write some data to or from application B, and then go to application B again. This could happen a number of times before we finish the flow. Well, then we need to control which window is the active window as part of the flow, and this is what we will look more at right now. In the GetUIText demo application, we want to read all the email addresses from the contact person list and write it into a notepad document, one email at a time. This means we need to move the focus or the active window between the demo application and the notepad window where we write the emails in. We start out with opening the demo application and doing a normal login. Then we add yet another start application block and specify notepad.exe as the application. Notepad is in the system path in Windows, so it's enough to just specify the name of the exe file. Let's run this simple flow. To find the email addresses, we will add a Find UI element block, as we've seen in some of the previous lessons. Notepad is now the active window at this stage of the flow because it opened as the last window. So we need to tell the flow to activate the demo application window before executing the Find UI element block, otherwise it will try to find the list of email addresses in the Notepad application. To activate a specific window, we add a Use UI window block like this. This block is used for setting focus in the right window at the right time. In this case, we want to set focus in the demo application, so we click Capture and select the demo application window. Pretty simple. With the focus now back in the demo application, we can capture an email address like this and open the strategy editor to change the conditions to match all contact persons and click Save. I select the second strategy and change from child number 1, which is the first contact person, to any child. To validate that we have all the email addresses selected, I click Validate and confirm that we have found 47 email addresses using this changed strategy. I click Save. I select All in the Use Occurrence field to iterate all the email addresses, and then I'm going to add a GetUIText to the found element. This block will extract the email address from the individual contact persons that we've selected. The GetUIText block will give us the email address as a text that we can use to paste into the Notepad document. To paste it in, we need to set focus in the Notepad application again, so we add yet another Use UI window block. We could have used the same approach and simply just captured the Notepad window. But for the sake of the demo, we will use the element option in the Use UI window block. In order to use this, we can connect any element that is part of the window we want to activate to the source element property. This means that if we had used for instance, Find UI element block to capture a button or similar in the Notepad application, we could connect this element to this property. In this case, we can use the Windows property on the Start application block that was used when Notepad was started, like this. With the focus back in Notepad, we can now use a typed text, like this, to simply insert the text followed by a new line and enter. To do this, we connect the text found and hover it on the Add field. This will automatically generate a new field that would hold the value from the text found property. I can then add the field inside the text value here, activate capture, press the enter, and then deactivate the capture again. The last thing with this block is to change the key speed from medium to fast to speed up the process. So, just to summarize, we open the demo application, followed by opening a Notepad application. Then we set focus back inside the demo application using a Use UI window block and use a Find UI element to iterate all the contact persons. For each iteration, we read the email address, set focus back into Notepad, and insert the email address. The final thing we'll do here is just to add a pass block at the end of the Find UI element. Let's close the open application and run the entire case. Finding all the email addresses and start inserting them into the Notepad document. In this video, we looked at how we can use the Use UI window block to control which window is the active window at any given time. This is important because LeapTest will always trigger the building blocks on the active window. We saw how we moved the focus between two applications, the demo application reading email addresses and a Notepad document where we inserted emails from the contact person list.